Hello everybody, welcome. I'm Christy here at My Artful Adventures, and we are going to be all doing some junk journals today. So I am coming to you live in the Junk Journal Jamboree, and so this is Journal Pals Day. And what we do for Journal Pals is Jimmy Lou from the Messy Craft Corner is our hostess, and she has put this event together for you, and then each of us stream it to our pages and into the group. And the easiest way to be able to watch is to actually go into the Junk Journaling Jamboree Facebook group, because when you're in there, all you have to do is just refresh your browser after each person. So that makes it super easy to watch and to see everybody all together. And then you can also go back and watch the replays, and everybody will be right there. So it makes it super easy to do. And I hope that you'll stick around today and watch everybody, because we are going to have a fabulous time. And you want to sprinkle this out to your friends, because there's no telling what chaos might ensue as I am trying to do this today. I don't know. Sometimes you're ready and you think you're ready, and you don't know. I'm going to do something different today. Hi Carol, hi Sue. Welcome on in. You guys, when you all come in, let me know where you're watching from, or hey, what kind of weather have you got going on? Hey, thank you, Jimmy Lou. Thanks for sprinkling me out there. Let me know. Oh my goodness, we have had cloudy days, and then this week, or yesterday, it's been cloudy, and then last night, we started really getting some rain. It was kind of drizzly, and man, did we ever get rain. Which is fine. We don't have to have a lot to be helpful, right? But I guess some of the places over towards Dallas, it's always like that. When you get a lot of rain, anywhere that kind of has some issues, they've got issues, right? Some of those little flash flooding things. Okay, you guys, I'm gonna set your expectations right now, because we are not going to get through a completed journal today. We're going to get going. This is going to be a little bit different. I have not tackled one of these before. We are going to make a junk journal from a composition notebook. Hi Janet, hi Connie, Donna, Karen. Thanks for being here, everybody. So I haven't done one before, but I have an idea of how to make this happen. And I'm going to put you down to the desktop now and show you the placemat. This time, and Jimmy Lou picks out something that she's got enough to send all of our people something that we can have a matching cover. And then whatever we do for the rest of the journal or whatever is up to us. So you're going to see a variety of ideas for journals. You're going to see a variety of different papers that people are using. Oh, by the way, let me see. Oh shoot. What did I save that under? Let me look real quick. The paper pack that I am using is called, now I can't put this in here, so be sure and just, write it down if you want to know. It's called Countryside Blue, and it's a junk journal kit from the Etsy seller TheJournalBoater. So boats, like, like getting a boat and I started to say swim away. You're not swimming in a boat. And then I'm like, well, driving isn't either. Sail, that's the word. Sail away in a boat. So the TheJournalBoater. And so I thought, well, that's an interesting name for a page, right? I hadn't heard that one before. So that's where, if you like the kit that I'm going to use. And I haven't even printed all of it out. I got some pages done for today. And so that's what we're going to start with. And it's going to take us some time. Now let me show you our thing we're going to be using. This is our placemat that we all have gotten to use today. And isn't that pretty? It's kind of a greenish color. Now when you're not looking the mind does not remember colors as well as your eyes, right? So when you are looking at something, you might think that you remember what the colors are, but the mind doesn't really remember colors exactly. And so I was thinking that these colors were a lot more like a blue-gray. And so then when I pulled it out, I'm like, they are not. They're kind of a gray-green. And so I'm like, well, shoot. But I thought, you know what? I'm going to pull out my papers and see if it doesn't, go okay. And I think it's going to work. Hey, Diane. Hi. Sue says it's cloudy in Michigan where she is. I'm 42. We actually are at 66 right now. We're supposed to be having some warmer weather. So I'm happy about that. Okay, here's what we're going to do. I can't take a lot of time blabbing because I got so much to do. And like I said, I will come back and work on this. I'm going to only be doing this with you online. So this is always a good way to take a peek and see, how we start and how we, proceed and problems that we might have. Hey, Maritza, Martha, Darla, Debbie. Hey, you guys, thanks for popping in. So here's our composition book. Now, first of all, what we're going to do, now I've done a number of these altered composition books. They're always fun, and they are great to have on hand. They make perfect little nice gifts for people. Who doesn't want a nice fancy composition book, right? Okay, now what you want to do is you want to make sure that you're using the kind that is sewn in. The other kind is just glued in, and you can always tell the sewn ones because they're going to look like this. You're going to see this little divot right here. The ones that are glued are usually nice and flat. They're all squared off. So look for one of these that is sewn in, and it's easy to find the center. So then what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to remove the stitching. We're going to take the pages out of here, you guys. Oh, finally warmed up. Hey, Molly, how are you? So we're going to just start snipping them. Now, I don't know what this looks like on the back of these pages. I haven't ever pulled one apart, so I'm not sure. You would think these would release really easy, but we're going to find out. And this is what I said. I like to go through this with you so that as I do this, you'll know sometimes we find things that were kind of difficult and we kind of work through the problem. Sometimes you can watch me and say, oh man, we see what happened there. So, sometimes you have to kind of backtrack. I always say, never try to work along with me because we might have had an issue, right? So you should always watch through. And you guys when you're doing replays on YouTube or Facebook, when it's replays, you can go in there and change the settings of how fast you're watching them. And, that works great. Look at that, you guys. It just came off like a dream. But now what we're going to have to do is pull these little babies out of here. You know what? We're not going to spend much time doing that, though. Let's just snip them off. Let's see. What do I have that's probably going to snip them the easiest? Probably these tiny scissors. You want to get them kind of flat. Now, these aren't going to show, so if there's a little bit left on here, don't worry about it. And taking this off is going to allow us a couple of things now. We'll be able to better line up our, look, we've just got a nice flat piece that can be our template. We can do the inside of our covers super easy now and have them go right. Nobody's even going to see where they end off, because a lot of times when you do the inside pages on your on your composition notebooks, when you do these, a lot of times, got a little owie down here. Let's trim that off. I don't even know what I was going to say. When you talk so much and just keep blabbing, it's hard to remember, right? Phew. Yeah, Karen, you're down there, and Diana, too. Diane, she's down in Florida, too. I know. Maybe some of the rest of you are. Hi, Tracy. And one of my daughters went down there. She's on a little vacation break. She has somebody that has a timeshare, so they went down there. But then between the ones of them that were going, somebody decided, oh, they needed to be able to go to, they wanted to go to, let's do this on the, it doesn't really matter. We're only going to cut off the bottom, you guys. It's going to be easier. Let's flip it this way. Okay, so now I'm going to just leave a tiny bit here on the side and let that just extend a little bit, because I don't need it to come exactly, just, let's see if we can get that super flat. Sometimes even though we think things are all squared off, when we put something that is actually straight on it, you can tell whether it's very straight or not. Okay, so now I'm going to mark this just a little bit past the edge. We'll just do a little bit past the edge on both sides. And then I'm going to cut it. And I hope I've got, I don't know where my rotary cutter is. Well, I have one, but I don't really like that one. You guys, what tool do you own that works, but you don't really like it? That you've used others that you think are better. Tell me a tool that you are not the happiest with. I'm not talking people. Okay. But we're going to do this all the way across to the edge. And we're just going to leave it. We're going to let it overlap. And that's how our closure, we're going to let our closure overlap. So we'll just keep marking this. We'll just kind of cut this off. And it won't even matter if you can see it, because we're going to put something else over the edge, okay? Hey, Christy, how are you doing? When cutting the placemat, could you make big pockets, not closing at the top? Your rotary cutter is hard to use with barcodes? I'm not sure I know exactly what you mean by that. And I had a big straight edge here. What did I do with it? Oh, there it is right there. Let me see. Maybe I put that rotary cutter in here. Nope, that's the one I use for paper. Oh, you guys, I have been in the biggest dither trying to get ready here. So just bear with me a second. Oh my God. And I know I got ready. I wanted, when I make the signatures, I had some nice needles that I was using to kind of hold my place. And do you think that I could find those today? No, they're not in there with the rest of all the stuff that I use for, when I do any book or any, journal making. Do I have that sticking out? Yeah. What the world? That's not. I feel like it's cutting. What in the world? It's not cutting. Look how smart I am. I'm like, that doesn't feel even sharp. Oh my goodness. And this doesn't have to be exact. Remember, we left enough on that edge that it's going to be okay. And I like it when I can figure out something to do with these placemats to where I don't have to have a whole lot of raw edges. And you guys, this is so something else I forgot to say is when we do these, when we sell them, then we are donating 10% of the proceeds from our journal to a charity. And my charity is the Alzheimer's people. So specific. The people. Oh my goodness. Okay. some days, some days I might have it together more than others, right? You guys, you know, you've been here. Now, look, you could go ahead, Martha, this would be something that we could do, and I think that's a good idea to make sure that we leave some of this because, yes, we could use some of this for a pocket. So now what we're going to do is take our, okay, so we've got that ready, okay? So we can set this to the side. We've got it measured and it's ready. So now I printed these. This is some of the papers. And like I said, this was called Countryside Blue, and you're going to see as we go through, there's quite a bit of blue, but I really thought that it would work just fine. And what we're going to be able to do is we're going to be able to put this down right in through here, and I'm just going to, and we can make kind of a scene, we can make it overlap in through here, and it's not going to look bad at all because it's going to go clear across the cover. Where the heck? Oh, there it is. What have you guys been up to? Oh, so Martha says a rotary tool is hard for her because she's got a bad shoulder. Oh, I bet that's true. Connie says she has so many tools she forgets to use them. Agree. Karen had to break down and turned the heat on for the last couple of days. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that can happen, right? Hey, Cheryl. Hey, Edith. Yes, association. Thank you. Alzheimer's Association. Oh, they're people too. Edith, I cannot find the Zoom. Cannot find the Zoom recording. I don't know what has happened. I'll talk to you later. I might go back in to our group and kind of do a little replay. Oh, let's see. Somebody was saying, let's be smart. Let's do something that somebody reminded me of. She says, use your ruler. Woohoo. Oh, well, she was saying use my little spatula thing. Where is, I don't even see where that is. Now, I am not going to, let's do this. Let's put it all on the edges to make sure the edges get covered. And then we will do some of the other, we'll run some other parts down the centers or fill in the other parts on the page. Oh gosh. I hope I make sense to you guys. Sometimes I barely make sense to myself, right, you guys? Can you feel me on that? You know what? Let's trim that off a little bit. It's sticking out too far. And let's pull it up a little so it doesn't crisscross over the liner. Now look, that'll be great. We've already got it all set to peel off. Boy, if we had little pieces like that to peel off, we could all peel it off super easy, right? You can't color coordinate. You probably do better than you think, Martha. Get a second opinion or just go for it. That's true. You just got to go for it. I think that's the best. I've been seeing something really clever lately that is a... Do you guys, have any of you ever seen a thing that's called Design Seeds? And it's like all of these things that are taken like from pictures, like nature pictures or flowers or all kinds of things. And then they have colors that they have chosen to, they're colors that have come right out of the picture. And so it's like you don't even have to guess if they go together nicely. And then I saw something recently, and someone has kind of taken that to a different level, and they've got like a whole box of little cards that it's like a color. It's like square cards, and then it's got little squares of color all over of things that you could pick. And when I look at the kinds of pictures that design seeds, the colors that they show that go together and coordinate, it is sometimes really amazing, because you wouldn't always think of using some of those colors together, and they're gorgeous. And you know, if they're gonna go together in nature, don't you think they probably look good? That's what I always think. You know, if they look good in nature, they belong. There's nothing that, you know, it's gonna look bad about them. Okay, so I'm gonna pull these all off, and then we'll fill in some of the other spots here. That, and kind of tuck some of them down. Thank you, Sue. Looks like a Rubik's Cube on the outside. Yes, that box of color cards, it does. Okay, and then we're just going to put some other in here. I'm not going to fill the whole thing. We'll just put a few pieces, because that paper is not going to go anywhere at all. Not at all. And now I think I'll put some right down the middle. That seems kind of counterintuitive, but I think it's going to help with the liner to give us a pretty inside. But I love this color that is got this green, and it's got kind of some cream colors and yellows and blues, and I think that this collection is really pretty. And like I said, even though it's going to have a lot of blue, I think it's still going to be just fine with that cover. And you know, that's the key, is to kind of coordinate your things. You don't always have to have something that matches. Why get matchy? There you go, Martha. Yeah, why get matchy? Yes, Molly, color wheels are certainly really useful. And a lot of times people don't know why, you know, they don't really think about why colors look good together or why they like them together. And you know, it really gives you some great options to use. Okay, you guys, here we go. You know, I wish I would have burnished that stuff down before I stuck it on there, but I didn't. So what I'm going to do here, wait a second. Actually, I'm going to cut one of these. Let's trim a little bit of this off here. Let's trim this to, I want it to just go to the edge of this other side. So I'm going to do 7 1/4 on here. And you guys, you'll have to, you know, probably depending on what brand of hang on just a second, what brand of composition book you have, you will have to make sure that you're measuring. You're not going to be able to probably just take my measurements and go from there. Now we're going to put this one on first so that this side can go over and look pretty from the front. I kind of have a thing about that. Okay, so let's put this down here. All right, here's the moment of truth. And this is, you know what? And whoops, this is why we like some of our glue. Even if you are using double-sided tape, you can squiggle your glue on, and this is going to help it stay on better too. Like, you know, our friend Shauna from Fraps and Scraps. Tape for today, glue for tomorrow. I don't know if she came up with that or not, but I just think that is so very true. Okay, here we go. Let's line it up on the edge and the top and bottom. Needs to move a little bit. I got it off a little bit. It's pretty close, but, and I'm sure we'll probably put things on there that will cover it up. Okay, now let's see on this one, how far over is this gonna be? Pretty far. We're gonna need to cut a little bit of that off too. Let's make the, and we'll put a little seam across the other side. Let's make this 8 inches, and then we'll wrap it to that back section. Excuse me. Okay, so 8 inches. And again, we'll squiggle some glue on here. So I hope I can, my goal is that I can get it on there better. That's not too bad. I mean, I just have a tiny fraction of a bit sticking out there where I would rather it not be, but it's okay. And now we put a little bit over here because it's going to overlap. Just a tiny bit. Okay, moment of truth. Maybe I should try the side first. Line it up on the top. Get it down here. Oh, you guys, I did not get it super straight. Okay. Close. Oh, so close. All right. And let's go ahead. It's got a tiny bit here. And you know what, you guys? We're not even going to see, we are not going to see any of this because the placemat's going to be on the back of this. So I could have just left that square, but I didn't. Okay, ta-da! Now we've got the inside covered. And now let's go ahead and put our placemat on here. And before we do that, ew. Ew, ew, ew. Messy. Oh, I've just lost my lid. Got it. Crisis averted. Okay. Phew. Let's see. Hey, Susan, how are you? You thought it was masking tape. No, it's double-sided tape. You can get double-sided tape in all kinds of widths. Hey, Deborah, me too. Glad you're here. Connie says she is getting braver at using prints that don't match. Well, you know what? And that's one of the nice things about using collections, because somebody else has already, you know, dreamed it up. And now, you know, once in a while, you might find something and look at it and say, what in the world were they thinking? And you might not like, you know, what they dreamed up. But that's okay. Okay, you guys. This has got, it's kind of like a muslin looking lining. And it looks to me like, oh, it's got a little bit of interfacing. Looks like maybe it might have something on the front too. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue the bottom edge because I don't want it flapping up, right? Who wants their stuff flapping up? Nobody. Well, I don't know. I guess you could have that Marilyn Monroe skirt thing. Oh my gosh, if that, in true life, if that would have happened to some of us, we would have been mortified with our skirts flying up, right? How many of you have ever had something like that where you were wearing something and it either up or down and you're like, whoops. It can happen. We're human, right? You know, I think that was an iron-on interfacing and it's starting to come off. That's weird. It's okay though. We're just gonna get it tacked down here. And when you're using Fabri-Tac, that's what this is. When you're using Fabri-Tac, once it's dry and it's cured, I can't remember, I want to say about 24 hours maybe, then it's good to go. And you can even like wash it. I mean, it's good to, you could even get it wet and it's gonna be okay, right? I think I saw something. I've got some other comments over here. Hang on a second. Why aren't I seeing those? It looks like Jimmy Lou says she stitched hers, I think. Ink will cover it. Deborah, what are you talking about ink will cover? We need to know. Slide the book inside. You actually could do that, and I thought about doing that. You could turn these over like this. Let's see if it's wide enough. You know the old book covers that people used to have? You could do that. You could make it a little bit longer and you could fold that in there. But this is what we're going to do. And it's kind of stiff right now, and that's okay. You know, it needs some help. We are going to put it in here like this. We might as well do it now. And have this come over the top. Oh, shoot. I think I have it upside down the other way. But that's okay. This has some really pretty stuff on it. And what we're going to do is we're going to do it like this, so that then as we put the pages back in and as it gets bulky, we can still cover this and it's still going to be a covered edge. And I'm not putting on my closure yet, mostly because I couldn't find what I thought I had. And you guys, if you have watched me before, you know that I can be the queen of adding closures later, so I'm never too worried about that. I really would kind of like to put a button on both sides and have some kind of fiber something or other coming and then tying it like this. And that way, you know, no matter how far apart this has to go to allow for it getting full, you'd still be able to close it and it's not going to matter. It's still going to be cute, you know, right in here. And I still could do that. I'm just going to have to be careful with, you know, when I do that, I'll have to figure out something on the inside because, you know, that's going to be, well, it'll come through here. And we've already done all of this pretty work here, but, you know, it'll work. You know, we can figure out something and it'll work. So let's go ahead. Well, I don't know what I was thinking. We do have to put it here. It has to go to the edge of this. So let's go ahead and we're just gonna go ahead and put our glue. Maybe we'll just do, I think we should only do part of it at a time. We'll do half and get it going. And that way, I'm going to bring it up over here. And I'm not going to run it clear to the middle. I don't want it super thick in the middle. And it needs to be able to kind of have a little room to bend. And see how like when, see how this has, it's not flat across here? That's because it had to have some room to have some give when it folds back flat. So, you know, that's why you can't just put, oh man, this is not coming out very fast, you guys. It's got a problem. That is not good. There we go. But you want to give it a little bit of room back there. Plus, if I get it too glued, oh no, oh my gosh, you know, I'm glad I said that I should only do half. You guys, almost made a super blunder here. We need to put the pages in. I told you bring your friends, we'll have fun, and there's no telling what chaos will ensue. Oh my goodness. Well, this is not going to be easy. But as long as I've got all of this on here, we might as well get it glued down, right? Oh my word. Me oh my. What can I say? But whoops. Whoopsie daisy. Okay, so let's go ahead and we'll just put the front on here and just kind of match it up on the edge and get it over here. But you know, you do want to make sure that it's gonna lay kind of straight. We got to make sure it's straight in here. Okay. You know, I always want to say, I can't believe I did that, but you guys know I can. I can believe it. I can believe it. There we go. Okay. All right, you guys. Now, on to pages. We're just going to set that to the side and work on our pages. So, where did the pages go? Here they are. Now, one of the things that we want to do is I want to take a couple of these and I want to, how wide is this? How wide is one of these pages? Let's take one of these pages for like a little template thing. We don't have to use all of them. But I'll use my grid down here. Just a hair under 15 inches. So about 14 and probably like 15/16. So let's kind of center these guys up here. And we'll put one over here like this. And nope, this has to be the front. So I want this to go behind it. And I want to use my little grids down here to make sure that they're pretty straight. Like that. Okay. And I am going to, let's do this. I'm just going to put the glue right down here. I'm going to go ahead and leave it kind of this big seam across here. And this will make our first pages match with the inside cover that we just did. Oh, that is way big overlap. That's okay. We can actually take this and cut this off. Let's trim it up some. We don't need all of that. It doesn't really matter if it's exact. You guys are probably watching this going, what in the heck is she doing? Trust me, that's what I think sometimes as well. Ah, okay. Hey, Nancy, how are you? Yeah, don't make me show that again. Whatever it is. We should never be showing things more than once because there's no telling what'll happen. Holy cow. All right. Okay. And you know, sometimes we come up with some weird method, right? You just never know. Alrighty. Now, this is going to go, it will wrap around here and be our first page. Okay, it's going to be the cover, the inside cover. And so we actually can just glue some of it down. Let's glue it down to that first page. And we are just going to give it a little quick glue. Now, one thing, this glue that I use for paper, that reptile glue, it doesn't take very much to get it stuck. And when I use these tiny nozzles, you know, I don't have to worry too much, and it sticks quick, and it holds quick too. When you don't have lots of globs of it, and it smooths out really easy because you haven't put a ton on, right? So let's go ahead and slide this one into place, and hopefully get that on pretty straight. Ta-da! Look at that, you guys. Oh, man. Oh. All right. So this is just going to be kind of our cover. And then we're going to do this back side. Now, I don't want to get a bunch of it on where those holes are right there, because we already know that those holes are going to be, we're going to use straight down that center right there already while we stitch our pages together. So we're going to make our signature, and then we're going to stitch it right through the back of what it came out of. But instead of, you know, we're going to stitch it all the way through. And then our placemat is going to cover it up, right? So some of this craziness that we've done right now is kind of just so we have a pretty inside cover, and it goes all the way through. And we got some kind of icky glue lines there. But you know what? We can put whatever we want to inside, right? Everything. Okay, so that's going to be our first thing. And now we want to start putting some pages together. And you guys, you know, even though the colors that are going to look great with this are going to be off-whites and, you know, colors that are not so bright, you have to remember that the notebook, you know, the composition notebook is bright white. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead, and you do not have to use all of these papers by any stretch of the imagination. You know, you can put, I actually think I might leave that there. And then you just have to start adding some of these in. And I don't know how many of these that I'll probably put a couple, you know, in. I've got, and this actually was a piece of, what was a piece of? Scrapbook paper. It was something. Oh my goodness. And you can put, you know, some small pieces, some big pieces, and we're going to do a 5-hole pamphlet stitch, you guys. I'm just putting in like a couple of sheets in between. And then I'm not going to use all of these. That just seems way too much. Here's something out of a old reading booklet. And I've got some of them to where they are not going to be, let's put in a pretty page again. This is some old onion skin paper. How many of you remember that? Oh my goodness. Maybe I'll stick some of that in here. Oh, you guys, if I can't get to the... Now, you know, these pages, they are much smaller, but they are, oh shoot, they're printed on, you know, regular letter size paper. And a, ooh, yikes, and a composition book is bigger than that. So you're going to have these big pages, even if you can find some bigger paper, like these kinds of things. Oh, keeps flying away. My fan is on. Even at that, you've got some of these kinds of papers. And, you know, maybe what you do is you put in more of these together and use fewer of the notebook pages. I'm just going to do these, and then we'll take out whatever the take out some of the notebook pages. Levels and levels and layers, exactly. And then we can still put in, you know, all kinds of pockets. So even though the paper over here seems large in comparison, you know, it's going to give us a lot of space to work as we move through. And then you guys, look at this, because this paper, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't, have I been doing stuff the whole time to where you couldn't even see it? I'm so sorry. What was I going to say? The blues, even though, you know, this has got predominantly kind of this green color, by using this kit that has so much blue in it, it's perfect, because you get all of the, it brings out the blue in whatever paper that you're using, right? I'm not trying to be real intentional with where these are going, and I think maybe I'll move one of these up and put another one in here. Except where, I thought I had some other, I thought I had at least one more of the onion skin. I don't know if I want to do that. That's going to hit kind of funny in the pages. You guys, am I going to even make it to, hope so. I hope so, I hope so. I don't know. What do you think about this so far, you guys? What do you think? You think you would give it a whirl, or is it too odd for you? And you guys, wherever we end today at my time, I will just stop there and I will continue on doing this live, because I don't, you know, a lot of people like to see how to do all the parts, and they aren't really familiar with some of that. And so I think that that would be a fair thing to do. We like for people, not only do we like, you know, to give you ideas, but we want it to be, you know, useful too for you, right? You guys, those pages are coming way out of there. And that's because of all those other little goodies we've added in there. Oh, this is going to be a fight. Oh my goodness. Oh, good. I'm glad you guys are liking it. Now, this might be one of those things that, you know, in the end, it bugs me so much and I have to trim some of this off, because we aren't going to have enough of this covering that. Well, you know, maybe we'll just let it hang out. We'll see once we get that part in. So, Oh my goodness. Okay, and now then, where's my little paper? Oh, I already measured a paper. Is this it? Yeah. So I made a 2-inch wide paper, and it's as tall as the composition book. I am still out of that frame. Oh, what's happened here? I think my camera's tilted a little weird. Well, I don't know. Okay, so you do that, and then I like to fold it in half this way, and then fold it in half this way, and then you know that's where your center hole is going to be, right there. And we're going to do 5 holes. And so what we want to do is put one down. I like to go down about an inch or so, 3/4 of an inch to an inch. Actually, let's look at some of these and see where that puts us. And this is why it's nice to, yeah, I think I'll go in an inch, and that's, we'll probably catch those other papers. But a 5-hole pamphlet stitch will help you if you've got paper sizes, some of them are that are small, you know, and just put it in that, the center thing. And so at 4 inches, then the center of that. And if you wanted to, you could take that and then just bring your hole up here, your mark like this, and fold it again. And then you know that that's that. But it's going to be 2 inches because that's 4 in between. So we'll just mark that. So this one was an easy one. Sometimes it's a little bit, well, that one's not marked right. And this is why it's nice if you do a template for yourself, because if you've got some part of it that's a little bit off, then you can kind of catch it at this point, right? Okay, so that's where our holes are going to be. And I'm going to go ahead and poke them. And I tell you what, I didn't find all of my needles that I use for holding, you know, like placeholders. I didn't find my bigger little awl. It's not huge. It's not, you know, it's not a big awl per se, but it is a little bit larger than this one. And you can tell this one has, it's kind of, I don't know, can you tell that it's kind of warped? Oh, there's a good, it's like kind of bendy. It's seen some action. It's seen some action, you guys. So, my little fan today up here in the ceiling is really giving me trouble. Okay, you guys. Oh, phew. I can't believe this is all I have gotten done today. Hey, Rhonda, how are you? Yeah, more of where we're going with this. Yeah, and this is going to be, this is fun. This is really different, and I wanted to give it a go and see, you know, what we could make it turn into, so to speak. And I think that's all the pages that I'm going to add because, you know, it's got quite a bunch. And, you know, it's a little bit different than how we normally do our junk journals. But all these plain pieces are going to give us lots of room to add other stuff to. I don't know, maybe let me see here. I'm not sure if I want to put this many of them in or not, actually. There's an extra. Let's take out, if I've got any where there's more, I think I'm going to take those out. And you guys, we can save this and use it in, you know, other journals, right? Yeah, and there's 2 there. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see how that feels. I think there's 2 there. They're stuck. But we'll I mean, this is going to give us a lot of goodies to work with. So here was some like old ledger paper. Another piece that's turned the other way. That one, you would have had to turn it up and down the way that is. It's kind of odd, but it's not my thing, so maybe it's not odd, right? Yes, this does give a lot of writing space. I think you're right about that. You're right about the writing. So I think, yeah, I'm kind of happy with that. So, and remember, we're only going to have, I might put some more of those back in. We're only going to have the one signature with this, right? Because that's all we can put in the center of that. So this is really, I tell you what, this is gonna give me a run for my money trying to get that together, you guys. So maybe I can get it. I think I can get it ready now, and then we'll work on it next time. I probably won't come back to it until next week. I have another live on another book I'm working on, or something, another project I need to finish tomorrow. So that's probably what I'm going to work on tomorrow. But see, now this is going to be the front of it. That was our other page that we worked on and put the pretty paper on, where we joined those sheets together. And so this is going to be in here, and then it's going to be like this. So when we open up the journal, it's going to all match like this, right? We got that far, you guys. Sometimes I'm always amazed at how much time it can take to just, you know, do this. But, you know, when you're thinking it, when you're working it through and you're thinking, you're kind of dreaming it up as you go. You know, when it's something you haven't done before, it does take you a bit longer to work through the process, right? And especially if you're going to have to figure measurements and things like that. But now I have left this off. I shouldn't have glued the front on, but I've still got this here. And so as we sew the signature in, we will sew it, you know, in here and right through the back where it originally came out of. And I was really pleased with how easy that was to get the stitching out of the center of that. So make sure for doing this and to be able to have all of this intact, you'll have to get the composition notebooks that has the pages sewn in, right? So that's kind of a, you know, for doing this, I think it's kind of a non-negotiable thing. And you guys, look how much paper I still have left. I mean, that's a lot of paper. So, and we can always use paper with our stuff, right? And yes, Jimmy Lou, I forgot. I'm so sorry. Next up is Jimmy Lou, and she is going to be coming up right after me. If you're not over in the Junk Journaling Jamboree, you should go over there so you can watch everybody. And all you have to do is just, you know, refresh your page in between our presenters, and you'll see the next people. Everybody's going to have the same fabric cover to use today for their junk journal. And I just always am amazed at how different everybody's journals are. They are all wonderful and all so different. And, you know, there's just a million ways that you can do a project. Even if you have the same basic idea, there's so many ways to go with it. And I think that's what makes it fun. And you don't ever have to worry about, you know, if you want to take any of our ideas and run with it, just do it. You know, we're not on here to go, I did that, you know, you can't do that, I did that. That's why we're here, so we can show you our ideas, and we hope it inspires you and that you want to give it a try. And, you know, we all, I think all of us have groups that you can come into and share the things that you make with us. We want to see what you're doing, right? We want to see that. Oh, thank you. Thanks, Mary. I appreciate that. And let me see. I'll tell you who else is here today. Let me look real quick at our lineup so I can tell you who all is here. Okay, so Jimmy Lou is going to be up, and then we're going to have Cynthia is going to be next. Cynthia Vines. Then we've got Becky Morgan Peels, and then Lisa Ahmad, and then Christy Pitchford with Christy's Crafty Cottage. And Lisa is, oh, you guys, in what I'm looking at, we don't always have, you know, our craft page names. Then that's why you should come over in the group so you can watch. Then we don't have to hunt around for everybody, right? Hey, Heidi, how are you? So, yeah, you guys, it's it's fun, fun, fun. It's almost time for Jimmy Lou to start. And like I said, I'm going to save this. I might rearrange my pages a little bit, or maybe print out a couple of other things. And the next time I'll have some of the other parts to that kit ready for you. And again, that kit is from, it's called Countryside Blues. No, just Blue. Countryside Blue. And it's on Etsy. And the seller's name is TheJournalBoater. Boater. With a T. So I don't know what journal boating is. We all have some kind of a name we've dreamed up, though, right? Oh my God! Just like My Artful Adventures, they're your adventures. When you say it, you're not talking about me. You're talking about yourself. You go on some artful adventures. Okay, let's go check out Jimmy Lou, and be sure and watch for the hashtag. I'm going to do a different hashtag. Well, I'll have Journal Pals. I'll still put hashtag Journal Pals. So as we go forward, be watching for that. Maybe I'll put hashtag Journal Pals. What is this month? January. We're almost at the end. You guys take care. Let's go see Jimmy Lou. Bye-bye.